¿Qué pasó, familia? Welcome back to Northside LDN. We've got Inter Milan youngster being linked to Arsenal. We've also got Jonathan David being linked to Arsenal. Can it be that we're rebuilding the strike force as we only got Gabriel Jesus, the only striker at Arsenal that's at a very good level? And then we've got Nketiah, and we dropped down multiple levels. If anything will happen to Gabriel Jesus, hopefully not, touch wood, nothing happens. But listen, Jonathan David being linked to Arsenal, I remember him being linked to us in the last transfer window, but maybe the stories have got a bit more legs. We also got Juventus looking at Paqueta. It looks like they're looking at Arsenal's target over there in Ligue 1, looking at Paqueta, Juventus looking like they're going to go in for a bid. And also we've got Fulham sealing the deal for Leno for £8 million. We also got more news surrounding Arsenal stars. There's another Arsenal player that has been deemed as dead wood and a player that we need to get rid of. And he's looking to have a significant pay cut to leave the Emirates. This is good news. There's a lot of dead wood right now that we need to get rid of. Multiple players that we need to get rid of right now. And at the moment at Arsenal, the news I keep seeing is we need to sell to buy players. We need to keep selling to buy. I don't understand why we haven't got this done. When the window opened, we should have had already written agreements or verbal agreements with certain clubs to get rid of players like Ainsley Maitland-Niles, Torreira, Bellerin, etc., etc., etc. Obviously, a lot of these clubs are playing hardball with Arsenal. So listen, we're going to get into all of that and more news surrounding Arsenal. So without further ado, epa, vamos caramba! Welcome back to the channel, people. Listen, today I'm not gonna lie, the news is trickling in really slowly. It's kind of hard to get a video together right now because not much is happening around Arsenal. We keep having the same news around certain players like Bellerin, Torreira. Are they going? Are they not? You know, talks falling down with the clubs that Arsenal are trying to sell and flog these players to. And yeah, listen, we're going to get straight into it. We're going to get into the first headline. This is a player being linked to coming to Arsenal. This Inter Milan youngster. Chelsea face Arsenal competition for Inter Milan youngster. Cesare Casade, I think is how you pronounce it. He's a youngster. Chelsea have failed with a £6.7 million offer for the Italian under-19 international, apparently. He can play centre midfield, attacking midfield. 19 years old. I think he's only played in the youth team. I don't think he's ever played for the main Inter Milan side. But apparently he's being linked to Arsenal. Inter would rather the player depart on loan with Sassuolo Torino, keen to agree a temporary deal. But the West Londoners aren't giving up in their pursuit of the teenager, with La Repubblica reporting they are preparing a new offer. It's thought that the Nerazzurri will refuse to part ways with Casade unless they receive a fee in the region of £17 million. They also declare that they face competition from Arsenal in a race to secure the 19-year-old services. It has been claimed the Gunners have made an inquiry for the youngster. Now, have you seen this player? Do you know much about him? Do any of you watch Ligue 1? For me, I don't. I mean, not Ligue 1, sorry, Serie A. For me, I don't really watch Serie A like that. This kid, when I looked him up, not good enough. I think it was very clear when we came into this transfer window that we need players of experience, players of the level of Savage, players with experience like that can be leaders. I think we've got more than enough youngsters in this Arsenal squad, and I think they need players that are levels above them, will displace them in the starting 11, and will be leaders and guide them, so that we don't have what happened last season. 10 games to go. We were the favourites to top form. We bottled it because a lot of the youngsters were burnt out. Players like Saka, players like Martinelli, these kind of players. They need to look around in the dressing room and have leaders that can tell them and help them when to hold a lead, how to manage a game, how to manage themselves, how to better their game, etc., etc. You know, we're not going to win anything just throwing in youngsters after youngsters after youngsters. We already went and got Fabio Vieira, which is another Project Youth player. I don't think we need any more Project Youth in the midfield. We need some steel, which is why I want Savage. There was other players that I wanted, but listen, we didn't get them. Bissouma's gone to Spurs. It is what it is. But we need some steel. This is not the type of player, it's not a profile of player that I want right now for Arsenal in the midfield. You know, I'm not getting overly excited for the way Arsenal performed against Chelsea and Sevilla. I think it was very good performances, and they should be some praise. But at the same time, we know when the Premier League starts, it's going to be a whole different kettle of fish. And I don't want to see the same bucaria with Xhaka in the midfield. So we definitely need to reinforce the midfield. Is this guy the right guy to reinforce our midfield? I don't think so. I really don't think so. And this Casade, for me, not ready. He's not even a starter for Inter Milan, and we already know the Premier League's a harder league. We haven't got time to be wasting. Tottenham are getting players in that can perform now. The rest of our rivals are getting players that can perform in now. Man United got Eriksen that can perform now, Martinez that can perform now, etc., etc. We can't keep having players that will come good in 3, 4, 5 years' time because we are still playing catch up. Don't be fooled by pre-season performances. When league starts, you're going to start seeing the deficiencies once again in Xhaka. We're going to see, will Partey be able to keep fit? I don't know, because the guy's always injured. The guy is turning into the next Diaby. You know what I mean? Abu Diaby was the same thing, always injured, never giving us a season of football. You know what I mean? They're always injured for parts of it. So listen, for me, nah, not for me. But let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of that guy. Is he the right guy? Do you rate him? Do you not? Let me know in the comments below, Caramba. And listen, let's get into the next player being linked to Arsenal. Let's get into this now. Here we go. Arsenal's target social media activity might be a show of interest. Jonathan David has been a long-term target of Arsenal, and the Lille striker has also not hidden his admiration for the Gunners and their legend Thierry Henry. The Canadian striker is one of the best in Ligue 1 and has been tipped to leave his present club. Now, would you take Jonathan David? For me, I'm not too sure. I mean, at the end of the day, is he better than Nketiah? I do think he's better than Nketiah. I do think that would be an upgrade on Nketiah. But at the same time, is he good enough for the Premier League? I don't know. Because judging any striker off Eddie Nketiah is not hard. Eddie Nketiah is not the be-all and end-all. So, is it an improvement on our strikers? No, I don't think he's better than Gabriel Jesus, but he's definitely better than Nketiah. Could we still not do better? I think we could. I'd rather still go for Ivan Toney. I think he's already accustomed to the league. He's already performed in this league. And some people look down on Ivan Toney's stats, but he's playing for Brentford, a team they're not in the top 6. They'll be doing good to get into the top 10, and he's performed. I think he scored something like 14, 15 goals last season. That's good for a Brentford team that just came up. That's very good. You know what I mean? It's not like he's got elite midfielders and elite service out there at Brentford. So I'd rather go for him. But we've got Jonathan David over here being linked. Let me get up on Transfermarkt what Jonathan David's been up to, what he's done. Let's get it up now. There we go. Jonathan David obviously plays for Lille. He's been valued at 45 million euros, 22. Born in New York, Brooklyn, but he's a Canadian international. Let's get into his stats. So in Ligue 1, he's had 74 appearances, 28 goals. That's not that great. I can't lie. That's not an amazing return in my opinion. But let's look at how he did last season. Let's have a look at how he did last season. Here we go. If it'll load up, there we go. Right. So in 37 appearances, Jonathan David scored 15 goals, 0 assists. I wouldn't say that's necessarily ripping up trees. I mean, Lacazette's best season over here in the Premier League for Arsenal was 14 league goals. So it's not really ripping up trees, is it? I mean, he is 22. He's younger than somebody like Lacazette, and obviously we got rid of Lacazette. What I'm saying is, I think there's better out there. You know, I already wanted players like Nkunku. I wanted David. I wanted Ivan Toney. I just think there's better options. I'm not saying this guy is trash, but you're playing in Ligue 1. That's probably what, the 4th strongest league in the world? 5th? Probably 5th. And you're only putting up, what, 15 goals and 37 appearances. So if you come to the Premier League and you get that amount of game time, 37 appearances, how many goals is he going to score in the Premier League? Where it's a more physical league, better players, better managers, he's probably going to get 6, 7 goals. That's not good enough. That's probably a worse return than Lacazette. That's just me going off the top on how I feel. Maybe some of you have watched Jonathan David and you think he's got all the attributes to be great at Arsenal. But for me, I think because we got somebody like Gabriel Jesus, we need Caramba. We need Caramba, a striker that's going to be clinical. Because we've got Gabriel Jesus, it's yet to be seen if he's clinical. Yes, he's been clinical in the preseason. Yes, I understand that. But at the same time, when the season starts, is he going to be as clinical in the Premier League? Because his highest stat so far has been 14 goals. Now, at Arsenal, Gabriel Jesus will be the main man. And I understand, maybe with being the main man and playing week in, week out, maybe he will be able to show that he is good enough to put 20 or 25 goals, a season striker. Maybe he can show that. But at the moment, we don't know. He's done very well in pre-season, and I hope Gabriel Jesus does prove me wrong. But at the moment, I don't look at him as a clinical striker. I look at him as a false nine that will bring wingers and midfielders and other people into play and make space and draw defenders onto him, while wingers, like how what Firmino does for Liverpool. That's what I see him doing. Firmino doesn't outscore Salah, but he assists a lot and he obviously contributes well to the goals. That's how I look at Gabriel Jesus. I want somebody that's going to be clinical in the box and easily get us at least 20 goals in this season, because that's what we need. If we're going to be competing, that's what we need. Tottenham have got a 20 goal a season striker in Harry Kane. Liverpool, it goes without saying, they got wingers that can score that. Mo Salah can score that. Obviously, Man City share it around, but they got elite players all over the pitch. And now they got Haaland. We'll see what he does. You got Man United that have got Ronaldo that can easily score 20 odd goals. So if we're going to chase the pack, we need to be having players that put on the same stats, if not better, to be able to compete with them. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that Jonathan David, with 15 goals and 37 appearances, is that striker for me, Caramba. I think there's better strikers out there. Now, some people say, but what about Ivan Toney? Listen, put Ivan Toney in a better team, and I believe that he will score more. Do you know what I'm saying? Because he's putting up the same amount of goals as Jonathan David in the Premier League. You know what I'm saying? So that's just me. Listen, everyone gets some predictions right, some predictions wrong. That's my opinion. Let me know what you guys' opinion is in the comments down below. Do you think Jonathan David is the one? Do you think Ivan Toney is the one? Do you not rate either one? What striker do you need? As I said, if we do not get another striker in, I don't see us going very far this season, because as soon as suspension or injury happens to Gabriel Jesus, one or the other will happen. Hopefully none, but one or the other is more than likely to happen. Or burnout if you're playing in every game in every competition, and we're in Europe this year once again. Come on, do you know what I'm saying? You need rotation, you need fresh legs, you can't just be starting this guy week in, week out. It don't work. You know what I'm saying? It don't work. Look at what happened to Saka, got burnt out. So listen, if Arsenal are trying to get another striker, I'm happy, but I'm not sure if Jonathan David is the right guy. I'm not too sure. Let me know in the comments down below. Now, you guys will already know, caramba. Puta que pariu. Make sure you like and subscribe. Hit the like button, caramba. Don't make me have to ask again. Puta que pariu. Vamos, caramba. Listen, I've been saying, we dragged our feet again for Martinez. We lost the player to Man United. We dragged our feet as well, and we lost the merda of Basuma, Esses maricas in Edu and Arteta, we lost to Basuma. We didn't get Basuma. Some people, we wasn't in for Basuma. If we wasn't in for Basuma, we should have been in for Basuma. We didn't. We could have at least put a deal for Rafinha that would have made him turn his head. Not saying he would have came because he was eyes set on Barcelona, but when you're third choice for a player, you go in when Barcelona are sorting out their finances, Chelsea are sorting out their finances. You go in there with an attractive bid. We didn't do that. And now, with us dragging our feet for another player that we're looking at and are yet to put in a formal bid, it looks like another team are swooping in for another one of Arsenal's targets. Juventus prepares a stunning offer to beat Arsenal to League One star. Juventus continues to bolster their squad, and their latest target is a player that Arsenal is also interested in signing. The old lady signed Paul Pogba in the transfer window, and they hope that the Frenchman will be their midfield linchpin. However, he just suffered an injury that could keep him on the sidelines until 2023. That blow has forced them back into the market, and they have their eyes on Lucas Paqueta. However, the Brazilian is also Arsenal's main transfer target, and the Gunners will move for him in this transfer window if they get encouragement that he is leaving. Juve knows he has other suitors, which means he will be very expensive to purchase. they have now come up with a creative offer that will help them win the race for his signature. A report on Calcio Mercato claims the Italians will offer 20 million euros plus Adrian Rabiot to clinch his signature. They hope this offer will impress Lyon, but the Lyon side will want to take their time to decide if Rabiot is worth having in their squad. So Lucas Paqueta, this transfer merry-go-round literally just never ever stops. Like, I'm sick and tired about listening to Paqueta coming to Arsenal. Not puta que pariu. And you get your flipping Havanas off and get this pucaria of a deal over the line. I don't understand. The player wants to leave. Honestly, like, this transfer window, we've had so many targets of ours that are more than happy to leave their club. All we need to do is agree terms and meet the valuation. I don't understand why we're dragging our feet. If this is true, once again, like Martinez and like other players that we should have been in for, other teams are now coming in for them. Do you know what I'm saying? And I can't, let's just keep it real right now. If Paqueta has the option between Arsenal and Juventus, if he's like Vlahovic and cares about football, about leaving a football heritage and actually winning things, he goes to Juventus. Let's just keep it real. They're ready to compete right now. They're ready to win right now. They've got better players. They're in the Champions League. Why would he want to come to Arsenal? And this is the problem. And this is why I get mad and I have to start waving the bucaria of the wooden spoon, because Edu and these other Filhos da Puta don't listen. They don't learn. We are not the most attractive club in the world no more, and we haven't been for years. So that means when we see a player that we want to target, we need to get in there before a team with Champions League offers them a deal. A team that can compete with their league and keep winning the league and dominating their league, or have world-class manager, world-class players that have more than what we have. Because the only thing we can do is throw money at it. And when we threw money at certain players, we attracted the wrong type of players. Players like Ozil, players like that, or players that used us as a stepping stone, like Alexis Sanchez. Do you know what I mean? And I don't blame a lot of these players. At the end of the day, we are the ones marketing ourselves as if we're going to give stupid wages. We're the ones that are not meeting the same expectation and same ambition as players as Alexis Sanchez. So I don't blame players. They got a short career and they need to go where they're going to win because their career is short. Do you know what I'm saying? So I can see it from their perspective. But we need to be the most proactive, because we are not first choice for a lot of these players. We're probably not the first choice for Paqueta. Do you know what I'm saying? We're not the first choice for a lot of these players. For Tielemans, well, I don't know if anyone else is in for Tielemans. We got these rumors. We're not probably the favourites for Savage. I don't know why we're not getting these deals done. We already knew coming into this transfer window that our midfield is shockingly poor. Shockingly poor. Do you know what I'm saying? And as much as people want to big up certain midfielders that are decent, like Partey, he's injury prone. That's what he's shown since he's been at Arsenal. Hopefully that will change. But as it stands, the players that we got on the bench just are not good enough. Our starting lineup midfield ain't good enough to get into the top four and actually challenge for the league. So the bench is even worse, and we saw that against the friendly against Brentford. When you put the youngsters, the players that we got in rotation out, you always see that they're not good enough. When you ask multiple performances from El Nene, he'll let you down. When you ask for multiple performances from Xhaka, he'll let you down. All these players will let you down. They're not good enough. And I don't need the season to start for me to realize that a lot of these ain't good enough. We need to move forward. And there's a lot of players that we've targeted that are more than happy to leave. And we are, I don't know what we're doing. I don't know if we're in for Savage. I don't know if we're in for Tielemans. All I keep saying is personal terms have agreed. That means nothing. That means nothing. If you don't agree the actual selling, the actual price with the selling club, that means nothing. The player can agree with all the terms he wants. If you don't meet the evaluation of the selling club, he ain't going anywhere. So who really cares? Go and get this done. I don't understand how Edu and Mikel Arteta keep coming out in interviews and talking about clear plans and we know what we're doing and we talk to each other, we this and we that. I still don't know what the clear plan is. Is the clear plan just to get Jesus and Zinchenko? You know what I'm saying? It's not good enough. It is not good enough. And this is what happens when you don't utilize every transfer window, when you don't go and scout the right players. Because if we got the right players last summer, a lot of this business we wouldn't need. If Davaj was good enough, we wouldn't need to get another. We wouldn't have had to go and get Zinchenko and waste time in the transfer market to get Zinchenko. If we actually strengthened in terms of strikers, brought in a proper striker instead of letting go of all our strikers, we wouldn't have to do as much work as we are doing right now, considering if we're going to go get Jonathan David as a number 2 to Gabriel Jesus. When we got Lokonga, if he was actually good enough, we wouldn't have to go and get somebody else in midfield to strengthen the midfield. Do you know what I'm saying? If Tomiyasu was all that super fans tell me he is, then we wouldn't have to be looking for another right back. If this is the problem. A lot of players that we've got in are going out on loan or not good enough for. I don't get it. I really, really don't get it. I don't get it. Like, I don't know, man. We're left with all this work because a lot of the players coming in aren't even as good as the players that are here. And the players that are here aren't even good enough to get top 4. The majority of them. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense in my opinion. That's just my opinion though. But it is what it is. I think I had a comment for somebody the other day on my last video. Somebody commented, no side. Oh, I can't watch your video. You don't think Fabio Vieira is good enough. Well, clearly this manager doesn't. If Odegaard's getting the captaincy, well, clearly he's not, because what? As far as I know, as far as I've seen, Fabio Vieira is supposed to be playing in the same position as a number 10. But if Odegaard's captain, then surely he has to start. You're not going to have a captain and he's on the bench. So I don't understand what's going on. Clearly, this manager doesn't rate Fabio Vieira as much as these super fans that don't even watch the Liga Portuguesa are telling me as good as he is. You know what I'm saying? Because why is he giving... It doesn't make any sense to make Odegaard captain, put him on the bench and start Fabio Vieira. Odegaard's been made captain because he will be our starting number 10. So clearly, Fabio Vieira either isn't as good as Odegaard or is just as good. And if he's just as good or worse, where are we going to go next season? I don't see it. I don't see the improvement. I don't see how we're supposed to be pushing on and competing against Tottenham that getting all their targets and Man City and Liverpool and Chelsea. I don't see how we're going to compete against that. But this is just my opinion. It is what it is. Like I said, I'm not going to just go with the flow and go with what's popular to say. I'm not seeing the improvements. I'm really not. And this is why we have so much work to do in this transfer window. But listen, do you really believe that Juventus is in for Paqueta? Yes or no? Make sure you tell me in the comments down below. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe, caramba. Don't be a filho da puta. Don't be like Edu. Don't be like Arteta. Don't be a filho da merda, yeah? Non seja marica. Hit the likes, caramba, yeah? Hit the likes. Let's get this video to 100 likes, caramba. Let's get it done. Big up to all of you lot, man. Drop a leech in the building. You know what I'm saying? Let's get this next story up. Actually, let me crack this. There we go. There we go. You know what I mean? There we go. Got to get a little cheeky San Miguel. You know what I mean? Cheeky San Miguel. What's going on? Putting water all over my... There we go. We're getting water everywhere, man. You know. Right. Arsenal star set for £8 million exit with Fulham medical arranged. Now, we already knew this was no secret here. Leno going to Fulham. Wish him all the best, really. I just feel like a lot of super fans went in the mud. I remember when we had Leno and Martinez fighting it out to be number 1. I wanted Martinez to continue when Leno got the injury. But as soon as Leno was fit, he walked back into the squad. And time has shown that Martinez is the better goalkeeper. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, Leno was the number 1. And then we get Ramsdale, and Ramsdale displaced this guy just like that. I think Leno is a decent keeper, but sometimes what I don't like about him is he punches the ball instead of catching it a lot of times. If we can see the corner a lot of times, instead of catching it, he just punches it out and it literally goes straight back to the opposition and we're under threat once again. So that's just one thing about his game that I don't really like. I think he's good at diving. He's got quick reflexes, but at the same time, listen, Ramsdale's come in and made that number 1 position his. We'll see with time how good Ramsdale is. I mean, he's had a good first season. He shut me up. I didn't want Ramsdale, but I hope, may that continue. I don't mind to be shut, players shutting me up that I've criticized, but they have to show it, on a consistent basis. Ramsdale showed it on a consistent basis that no Arsenal fan could really bash him. You know what I mean? He's been very, very good. Now he has to continue that. It's all good having one good season under your belt. You need to be doing those levels of performances and, week in, week out. So, Yeah, it is what it is. Listen, Leno going over there to Fulham. They've got themselves a very good goalkeeper. They haven't broken the bank for it. One thing I don't like about this deal is we paid £22 million for Leno and we're only getting £8 million once again. And people moan about Arsenal ain't got money and this and that. We're always making a loss. And this is the thing that pisses me off. We've let Lacazette go. We let Aubameyang go. We've let Ozil go. We've let so many players go, yeah? And now, you know, it's just ridiculous. And then when we do get money, we get half or less than half of what we paid for the player. It doesn't make any sense. And it's because we let his contract run down. It's because with all the things that this club said that we're not going to do anymore has happened. I don't understand, man. Like, how are we getting £8 million for Leno? You know what I'm saying? He's a German international. Now, I'm not trying to wave around the international card, but Germany is one of the elite international squads, no matter what you think, you know what I mean? He is a German international. We should be getting a lot more than £8 million. When I've seen Liverpool get rid of Solanke for 20 odd million pounds, and this guy, he's not even an international. This guy don't even get no get. I didn't even think he got any ball time at Liverpool. How can they get 20 odd million for him and we only get 8 million for Leno? It don't make no sense. And this is the problem with Arsenal. Like, this is when people say the regime has changed. How's it changed? How's it changed that once again we're losing money on a player? Like, how has that changed? Do you know what I'm saying? And there's more players that we're going to get into, that I'm going to get into, that their contracts are running down and we are haggling for literally £1, £2, £3 million. And we're not recouping what we spent on them. One or two players are willing to terminate their contract. Do you know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. I don't understand how you get clubs like Southampton, you get clubs like Leicester, you get clubs like this that know how to sell players. Most time they know how to sell players, they know how to make money off their players. But yet a club the size of Arsenal still don't know how to even at least break even and get the money that you spent on a player back. At least. It is ridiculous. It's absolutely pathetic. And I did a video months ago where I was talking about Arsenal losing 340 million pounds. I think it was like 350 million pounds loss on player sales. And it's deals like this. Leno going for half the money that we spent on him. This is how we're losing so much money. We burn so much money. We either don't scout the right player, like someone like Davaj, and spend 7 mil on a player that's never going to be good enough, or we pay big money or a lot of money for a player and then recoup peanuts. Like, honestly, something's got to change, but people, I don't understand, man. Apparently, Arteta's changing the culture. Why is our dealings in terms of contracts and everything still the same? Has Saka signed a new contract? Because I ain't seen nothing about that, caramba. Es sempre mesma pucaria, sempre mesma merda. You know what I mean? These maricas always doing the same thing. I'm tired of these maricas always coming out. We've got to get the Saka deal done. That should have been wrapped up long time, man. Wrapped up long time. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to make this a negative video, but at the end of the day, like, come on. Why are we only getting 8 mil for this guy? Please justify that. Because we let contracts run down. We let Leno's contract run down. We're not getting the money that we should be getting for him. Torreira's contract run down. That's why we're not going to get the money we need for him. Ainsley Maitland-Niles. All of these, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Because contracts, I don't understand. I'm sick of it. It just doesn't make any sense, man. It doesn't make any sense. But listen, we're going to get into the next headline. This is another player, surrounding another player that's wanting to leave Arsenal. Arsenal star willing to take significant pay cut to leave the club this summer. This is what I'm talking about. Arsenal defender Hector Bellerin is willing to take a significant pay cut to leave the club this summer. Why does Bellerin want to leave? We've got the best looking Spaniard he knows. You know what I'm saying? This is the new Pep Guardiola. Why is he in a rush to leave? I don't get it. Look at Bellerin right there, looking like a Spanish Freddie Mercury, bro. Look at this guy. Bellerin spent last season on loan at Real Betis after falling out of favour at Arsenal. Spanish right back was once a regular at the Emirates, but now falling down the pecking order at the club. The permanent move away is likely to be best for his development. According to ABC Sevilla, Bellerin is willing to take a significant pay cut to leave the club this summer. Claims that the Bellerin wants to leave Arsenal to rejoin Betis and is actively pushing to secure a move to the Spanish club. The issue many players signing for Premier League clubs have is that they offer extortionate wages. Of course, this is great for the player at the time, but if they fall out of favour at the club they sign for, it makes it difficult for them to find a move. Ben White has disputed at right back during pre-season, so it's pretty clear that Bellerin isn't in Mikel Arteta's plans at Arsenal. Now, this is what I'm saying, man. Like, you know, offering high wages. I think Bellerin's on like 100k a week. He already knows. Obviously, he won the Copa del Rey out there with Real Betis. He enjoyed his time over there. Obviously, he's a Spanish boy, originally from Barcelona, but you know, he loves Spain. I understand that, and I just think it's best for him to go over there. I think once upon a time, it's a sad story with Hector Bellerin because at one point in time, he had such a high ceiling at Arsenal. Let's just keep it real. You know, when he first burst in, we thought, wow, we got a gem over there, you know, from the Barcelona academy. But he just for me personally, he started caring more about Fashion Nova and Boohoo Man and all of them things there instead of focusing on his game and developing his game. And what I don't understand is if you work on your game and become an amazing footballer, you'll always get, you know, deals with fashion and clothes and things like that. Look at David Beckham. You know what I mean? Look at what he done. Focus on his football, won nearly everything there is to win in the game. And then when he retired, do you think my guy lacks in adverts and you know, modeling for different designer brands and stuff like that? No, because he has the name of David Beckham. Now, Bellerin is focusing more on the fashion thing, but once he's not a footballer no more, what's the appeal? Because the name Bellerin isn't gonna, you know, ring bells in football fans all around the world. They're like, Bellerin who? You're going on like this guy's, you know, was Roberto Carlos level or something. And this is what I don't understand. Focus on your football and you will forever be remembered by what you've done in football, and the brands will come based off of who you are and who you was in football. But this guy wants to be more concerned with Fashion Nova, making himself look like Daddy Mercury, putting Sporty Spice boob tubes on, you know what I'm saying? Looking like a Sporty Spice crossover with Freddie Mercury. I don't know what's going on, but listen, Bellerin, just go out there to Real Betis. Arsenal, let him go. There's no point. Just like Maitland-Niles, we don't have him in our plans. Just let the guy go. There's no point holding on to these guys that are not good enough. So yeah, let the Spanish Freddie Mercury go. Goodbye, good riddance. Not good enough. Now, let's get into what's this? Let's get into right. Fabrizio Romano's come out and spoken about the situation around Torreira, Lucas Torreira. We're going to get into that. And Fabrizio Romano tweeted, Arsenal have received Galatasaray proposal for Lucas Torreira. It would be a permanent deal waiting for the player to agree on personal terms. Arsenal are prepared to accept and sell Torreira immediately. Now, he's another player. Torreira, it's just best that he goes. I mean, obviously, he wanted to move to Fiorentina. Arsenal and Fiorentina couldn't reach an agreement for whatever reason. A lot of reports were saying it was because we couldn't meet they weren't meeting the asking price for Arsenal. Like I said, this is going to be an ongoing problem for Arsenal until we start selling and buying players properly and people will take us seriously in the market and build a reputation. Just the way that, you know, as much as I'm not saying Tottenham are our big example, but Daniel Levy, you already know, if he wants one of his players, he's only selling it for full price. The president of Napoli, you know, when you go to Napoli, you're playing full price or you're not getting the player. Here at Arsenal is freebies. Here at Arsenal, we'll terminate your contract. We don't even care about getting any money. We'll terminate. So this is why when teams and clubs are interested in Torreira and Maitland-Niles, they're going to offer us peanuts because they've seen us on multiple occasions sell for less than the asking price. Do you know what I'm saying? So listen, now we've got Galatasaray entering and looking at Torreira. You know, obviously Torreira's got to obviously want to go to Turkey and play over there. I thought that Torreira probably does want to return to Italy. He does want to play his game in Italy, but unless there's an Italian team that's going to meet Arsenal's valuation, he doesn't really have the option. His option is either, you know, go to somewhere like Galatasaray, which is maybe a league he doesn't want to play in, or stay at Arsenal and literally just deteriorate on the bench because this manager apparently just has absolutely zero use for him, which is mad. But yeah, that's what Fabrizio Romano is saying. And I think it's just best for all parties that Torreira leaves and goes. And I wish him all the best. Nothing personal. We also got this headline as well, which is quite similar to what I was saying. Where is it? Where's it gone now? There we go. Arsenal must not fall into striker transfer trap as Timo Werner assesses Chelsea exit plan. Timo Werner could leave Chelsea this summer with Arsenal linked with the German striker, but Mikel Arteta should not be tempted. And this is exactly what I said. And I saw some people say, no, they would take Werner. And for me, now Timo Werner, for me, I don't think it's a risk worth taking. The guy's wages, I think he's on over 200k a week. If he comes here, he's gonna have to take a pay cut because no one over here should be paying him no bukari of 200k a week. That's ridiculous. And at the same time, it's like, to me, he's got too many similarities to Lacazette, and I mean that in a bad way. Like, his strongest attribute is everything but putting the ball in the back of the net. He doesn't score that many goals in the Premier League. He's done it better in other leagues than he's done it in this league. And that's why I think he's probably like a Lacazette, where he's better suited to another league. I think the Premier League, he just can't keep up with the Premier League, the physicality of it, the speed of it. I just see that it's not good enough. And to me, like I said before, Timo Werner coming back, not coming back, but coming to Arsenal stinks of Welbeck, when we got Welbeck from Man United, when we got Willian from Chelsea, all these kind of signings that these players ain't good enough for our rivals, come to Arsenal, and then we find out exactly why they're not good enough. Do you know what I'm saying? And why the selling club, why our rivals were so happy to do business with us for these players, because they're not good enough. This is not the type of player I want to take a risk on. I understand that every player is a risk. I understand that some people look at me and think, oh, Ivan Toney, what Bukari is more side talking. Listen, I'm telling you that I have more faith. I've seen more about Ivan Toney than I have on Timo Werner. Wages are going to be cheaper. The price of the player is probably going to be cheaper or thereabouts. So why not go for Ivan Toney that's got a higher ceiling? I think Timo Werner in the Premier League, we've seen who he is and what he is. And I don't see it being any better. And yeah, for me, nah, just not interested. So yeah, let me know in the comments below what you guys make of that. And another Arsenal player, because this is all we're getting. Most of the news surrounding Arsenal lately has just been around, players exiting, because apparently we can't sign anyone until we sell some players, which I think is absolute rubbish, because we brought the wage bill down anyway. We brought the wage bill down. We got rid of all our highest earners. We don't have a high earner really. Like most of our high earners, okay, we got Gabriel Jesus, but we got rid of so many players. In January, we got rid of like 6 players. We got rid of so many players. Like, why don't we have, look, the only thing I will say is, yes, the size of the squad is too big. I will agree on that. The size, I think we still got about 30 odd players or something. The size of the squad is too big, but hurry up and get it done. We're literally days away from the season starting, and we are not prepared. And this is exactly like last season. And what happened in last season? We lost 3 games in a row. We are not prepared. This midfield has not been addressed. It's not been addressed. The wing, in terms of right back, has not been addressed. The wingers has not been addressed. Having a second striker has not been addressed. What has actually been addressed? This is what I'm saying. But anyway, we got news. Arsenal defender Pablo Mari in exit talks as 4 departures edge closer to completion. Arsenal are continuing to focus their efforts on outgoings in a bid to raise further transfer funds for Mikel Arteta. Pablo Mari is edging closer to Arsenal exit door as the 28-year-old central defender's representatives continue to negotiate a potential return to Italy. The Spaniards spent the second half of last season on loan at Udinese, who remained keen on signing the former Flamengo man despite the absence of an option to buy within the initial agreement negotiated during the winter. However, Serie A new boys Monza are looking to move ahead of their fellow transfer rivals and Hellas Verona as they prepare to welcome Mari's agent to Italy to face-to-face negotiations. Now, that Monza team, they're the same team they brought Balotelli to them. So they're based in Milan. I think they're a Milan team, AS Monza, and I think their president was the ex-president of AC Milan. So they got a lot of big backing, a lot of football men that know what they're doing. And listen, I think Pablo Mari will do well over there at Italy. He did well on his loan at Udinese. And I think going to Monza, they got big ambitions. They got quite a bit of money. They like to get some big players. I think they got Boateng is a player that they bought. I saw that they bought also Balotelli as well. So AS Monza, have been doing big business. And they got the ex-president of AC Milan, and he looks like he wants to turn Monza into one of the powerhouses over there in Italy. I think it would be a good move for Pablo Mari, and I wish him nothing but the best. It was mad. He was brought in and deemed not good enough straight away. Surprise, surprise. So as Lokonga, so as Tavares, so as many other players Arteta's brought in. It's mad. So listen, let him go do his thing out there in Italy. He's not part of our plans, and I wish him all the best. And it is what it is. Now, we've got this here that I wanted to get into as well. What's this here? Here we go. Right. Arsenal fear Edu has ruined their latest £50 million transfer master plan. It can't be a master plan if it's not going to plan, is it? Arsenal and transfer sales have never been a perfect match. Surprise, surprise. With the Gooners only managing one 20 million plus outgoing in the last two summer windows. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's actually embarrassing. But anyway, yet despite Edu's comments, the North London side have to keep pushing to get unwanted players off the squad and off the payroll. After all, Arteta is close to fully revamping the entire Arsenal squad from when he first joined in December 2020. And if the Gunners can manage a few more sales, there's a good chance another signing can be made in the final days of the summer transfer window. Listen, that's all nice and well said, but at the end of the day, as much as there are dead wood that need to be removed out of this club, would we say Trusty coming in, Mikel Arteta getting Trusty was a good buy because he's getting loaned out? Is Lokonga a good buy? Is Tavares a good buy? Is Marquinhos a good buy? Because there's rumours that he's going out on loan. Is Tomiyasu a good buy? Because he's looking like we need another right back. Are these players good enough that have been brought in by the manager? Odegaard is okay, not world class. He's all right. He's not amazing. So at the end of the day, what kind of players is Mikel and Edu going to buy? Because the majority of the players that we're getting in are players deemed not good enough to perform at Arsenal right now. The majority, the only players that he's got in that are ready to perform has been Ramsdale, Odegaard, Gabriel Jesus, and Zinchenko. The rest of them aren't good enough, either not good enough or are going out on loan. We need players that are going to affect our starting lineup and raise the levels of this squad because the squad is not good enough and not ready to compete. So I hope that they go and get midfielders that walk into our midfield, that walk into our starting lineup. Do you know what I'm saying? Go and get wingers that walk into our starting lineup because that's what we need if we're going to push on, not getting players that are inferior to the players that are not even good enough to get into a title challenge or get in Champions League football. It just doesn't make sense. For me, that's working backwards. In my opinion, it's working backwards. So as much as people, certain articles come out and say, oh, well, he needs all his team. Well, a lot of these signings have been very questionable. Some of them have been good, but some of them have been very questionable. As to what is their role here at Arsenal? Are we going to continue to buy players for the future or are we buying players for now? Because it's for the future. I don't want this manager here. He ain't good enough. Because all our rivals are getting players that can perform now and Arsenal are wasting funds. Vital funds. We're already seeing, look, we're getting rid of Leno, paid 20 odd million for him. We're getting rid of him for 8 million. We're losing money on players. And then the money that we do have, we're buying players, the majority, not good enough. I don't get it. I don't understand how you're going to catch up to your rivals, scouting and buying players like that. I don't get it. I don't get it. Like I said, I'm happy with Zinchenko. I'm happy with Gabriel Jesus. That is still not enough. That is not enough to drag us to being into a title race. It's not. And that is my standards, to be in a title race year in, year out. But listen, it is what it is. Let me know in your comments down below what you guys think of what's going on at Arsenal. Obviously, there's a lot of articles like this. Like, there's one more, and I'll just skim through it. I mean, there's another article here, talking about Mislintat, the £103 million loss Arsenal made on 8 players Mislintat signed. Aubameyang, well, that's not really his fault because Aubameyang was worth the money, but we never really built a proper squad around him. And then this manager forced him out the window. His contract wasn't even up. We forced him out the window. So, of course, you're not going to recoup any of the money that was spent. So that was a good buy. Mavropanos, dead. Mkhitaryan, dead. Socrates, very average. Torreira, average. Guendouzi, actually a very good buy. Better than Lokonga. Would walk into our midfield right now as it stands. But this manager doesn't like him for some reason. That was actually a good buy. So Liechtensteiner, that was appalling. But at the same time, when people make these articles, why not make an article about, Tavares? Why not make about Lokonga? about all these men there, about Ben White, £50 million, and the guy can't defend. You know what I'm saying? Why not make an article about that? Because this man just spent a hell of money as well. What about when Arteta went and bought Willian? That wasn't good enough. You know what I mean? Them players there, how come we don't mention that? And this is because the point I'm trying to make is nothing has changed. We're still not recruiting the way I want us to recruit. We're not. Overall, we're not. Yes, Gabriel was good, Zinchenko was good. But everything else, for me, has been hella iffy, apart from Ramsdale. Ramsdale was a good buy. But there's so many players here that even this manager, it's not even my opinion, it's not even Northside coming out and saying it. This manager is putting them out on loan. What does that make? What does that say about the players he's bringing into the club? Not good enough. Not good enough, but yet we're supposed to be progressive. We're supposed to be competing this season on multiple fronts and multiple competitions. I don't know. Listen, let me get into your comments now. Let me get into your comments. Big up to all of you lot for the comments. There's like over 100 comments. Big up to all of you lot. Also, people, I will be going on Gracie's channel later on with Jez from the Arsenal history and more. So make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. Make sure you go and like and subscribe to Gracie's channel as well. Big up to you lot. Não sejam filho da puta. Não sejam filho da merda. Make sure you support the channel. It is what it is, caramba. You know what I'm saying? Big conference Northside. You know what I'm saying? You already know what time it is, man. Big up to all of you lot. Thank you for the comments. Big up Northside. Like and subscribe, caramba. Exatamente. Isso mesmo, caramba. Puta que pariu. Big up Northside. Always good to catch you live. Big up to you, bro. Thank you for tuning in. I'm cool with Zinchenko and Jesus. Additions/replacements. However, let's not kid ourselves. These players who they deem not good enough for Man City. That's what I'm saying. Like I said, good signings, but not enough to get us to where we should be, which is competing with the big boys. You know what I mean? Vamos, irmão, e tropa elite. Big up to you. Good evening, familia. Big up to Gracie. Big up, Gracie. Like as I said, I will be live on Gracie's channel today at 6:30. Me, Gracie, I think Ken's going to be there, and Jez. So make sure you stay tuned for that. So we sold Leno for 8 mil when we bought him for 19.2 mil. And we have Tina Turner as backup dancer. Exactly my point. Thank you, my bro. Exactly my point. It's mad. It's actually mad. Hey, Northside, what do you think about our pre-season? Do you feel we are prepared? No, listen. The performances in pre-season has been good. Barring the Brentford performance has been good. But we are not ready. Because we're going in with the same midfield from last season that wasn't good enough. We're going in with no rotation for Martinelli and Saka. We're going in with one striker, once again, one striker that's good enough to compete at the highest level. One. You know what I'm saying? We're still going in with a right back we don't have a right back that's as good as Kieran Tierney. You know what I'm saying? So this is the problem that we still have. So for me, no, we haven't improved. We're not ready. We are not ready. We are not ready. I'm sorry, we are not ready. We are not ready. And when I say we're not ready, that is for the standards that I want of this club to win the Premier League and win the Champions League. We are not ready. On that level, we're not ready. He might be great, but he's still a gamble. I really don't know about this 19-year-old kid. Yeah, I get what you're saying, bro. Eddie and Arteta don't seem to be able to sign other club star players. Otherwise, it would have happened by now. Exactly. The Man City ones, unless they're Man City players and they've been given favors by Pep, it's like they can't get the deal over the line. Big up Northside. Big up to you, bro. Thank you for tuning in. What's this here? Ericsson is finished, and this Cesara guy is just a rumor. Northside, what's your top 4 prediction? I think Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham, Man United. That's my prediction. And then Arsenal probably 6th or 7th. Your preference is strange. Ivan Toney ain't better than Nketiah. Okay, based off of what? Because Nketiah has only scored 10 league goals in the last 5 years. So based off of what is Nketiah better than Ivan Toney? Because Nketiah scored a brace against Chelsea. Now you're trying to tell me that he's levels. Come on, man. Behave, bro. Behave. Based off of what? You know what I'm saying? That's a basic inadequate stat if we're looking to win the title. What's this? Big up Gracie, big up to you. Without improving quality in centre mid and right back, probably another decent striker, I think we'll finish 5th or 6th again. With those additions can push for top 3. This month is key for Edu and Arteta. Listen, I can't wait because I think Arteta is going to be sacked, bro. Cannon the likes, I think he's going to be sacked. Even if he gets everything he needs, this manager ain't good enough. He's still easily the worst manager out of him, Ten Hag, Tuchel, Klopp, Guardiola, Conte. Arteta is easily the worst manager. Do you get what I'm saying? So I don't even see him doing any better this season. So just based off of that, even if you take away the squads, just in terms of quality of manager. So we'll see. We will see. We will see. We will see. We won't sign another striker. If you watched our front three, they are constantly rotating. At one point, Saka was centre forward versus Sevilla. If we don't sign another striker, it's not happening, man. It's not happening. The podcast later is going to be Fire No Side. Big up to you, Gracie. Make sure you tune into that, people. Add Vieira, ESR, Eddie into that, and they will think they have enough. I can see us signing max two more players, centre mid and a winger. That won't be enough, bro. Paqueta is quality, really skillful and very sound ball control. We'll see. We'll see. If we get him, we'll see. I hope you are right. If we get him, I hope you are right, but I'm not convinced so far. Paqueta / Madison and Pepe linked to Newcastle. I'm telling you, they're trying to rival us for everyone, bro. Like, it's actually embarrassing. You know what I mean? Just like when they got Guimarães. It's mad. If they get him over us, I'm an absolutely loser. I don't give a crap. I'm going to start moving some furniture up in this bitch. Just know that. Yeah? These maricas are going to get it, bro. These maricas are going to get it. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Time to get rid of Pepe. If the rumor story is true, he'd like a move to the Magpies, aka dollar signs. If true, just get rid of ASAP. He's done F4 anyway. Listen, you can't really blame him for wanting to go. He's not being played. You know what I'm saying? If he's not being played, he has all the right to want to go. Do you know what I mean? Whether you rate him or not, at the end of the day, that he wants to play football. Do you get what I'm saying? And if we're not going to give him the game time, then let him go. There's no point wasting his time and wasting our time. What's he on? 120k a week? We're just burning money. If we're not going to play him, just get rid of him. Him, Maitland-Niles, you know what I mean? Torreira, all of them, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Just get rid of him. If we ain't got him in our plans, there's no point holding these players ransom. Not sure why everyone is hyping Paqueta. Didn't he flop at Milan? Could quite easily come to the Prem and flop too. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know, man. You know what I mean? I don't know about that. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Vieira can play multiple positions. You can't say you don't rate him as he's been injury. Judge him once he's played 10 games. Do you remember Bernd couldn't hit a barn door when he first signed? Listen, I don't understand why Arsenal fans, they don't like people judging players that we get in. When Darwin Núñez goes to Liverpool, everyone's got an opinion. Yeah? How many people watch the Liga Portuguesa to actually... So whatever, it's an opinion, bro. Like, I may be right, I may be wrong. As my opinion, I don't think he's as great as super fans are hyping him out to be. Yeah? So what I'm saying to you is this. I don't think he's trash, but I don't think he's the guy we need. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't think he's better than a Madison, a player that we could go and get and we could have gone and get. I don't think he is. Do you get what I'm saying? So I kind of have an opinion based off of the minimum I've seen of him, because I do actually watch the Portuguese league because my team is Benfica. So I have seen a bit of him. I haven't seen loads to make it out like I'm an expert, but I have seen him. I've seen him when he played against Porto versus Benfica. So it's my opinion. Everyone's got an opinion. When our rivals sign someone, everyone has an opinion whether it's a good signing or a bad signing. When all the super fans were hyping up Martinez, to come to Arsenal, as soon as he went to Man United, people started having judgments. And I don't understand. It's called an opinion. If you don't agree with it, that's all right. You don't have to agree with my opinion, but it's my opinion. I don't think he's much better than Odegaard. I think he's around the same level, and I don't rate Odegaard that highly. I think Odegaard had a good game against Sevilla, but I want to see it week in, week out from Odegaard. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But if you rate him, cool. We'll see who's right and we'll see who's wrong. It is what it is. What's this? Northside, you said we need quality squad depth. So if Fabio is just as good as Odegaard and is on the bench, what's the problem? You should be happy for that. No, because we need better. This is the problem. Oh my God. When we had Odegaard, we got Odegaard, We had him last season. Where did we finish? 5th. So what does that tell you? When you go into the transfer window, you need to get better. I don't understand with this mentality of let's get players as good or worse than our players, and we just say, oh, okay, that's good enough. That's rotation. No. That's not how you create a winning team. You get better than what you have, and you keep improving. You get better than your current player. If you're gonna get a player and you've got already another player in that position, you should only be justifying that if it's better. Only when you get to the level of a Liverpool, Man City, where your squad is up there, and then you can start going for a Fabio Carvalho like Liverpool, going in for certain players like this that they're gonna come good. Do you know what I'm saying? But even when a team like Liverpool are signing Fabio Carvalho, they're still going out and getting the Darwin Núñez, somebody that's going to be most likely going to be a starter or thereabouts. Do you know what I'm saying? That offers something different. If we got Odegaard, why are we going to get Odegaard 2.0? If Odegaard already isn't good enough, not good enough to win the league, not good enough to win the Champions League. It makes no sense. You're supposed to be scouting better players, bringing in better players, because everybody else is improving, and we was already behind. We were behind. We were the falling pack. So why are we going to go? How can you ask me, why shouldn't I be happy with getting Odegaard 2.0? I want better than Odegaard. I don't get it. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. You man just want to get dead ballers or average ballers and just say, oh, well, we got rotation. Who gives a shit about rotation? If you give me rotation, but you only, let's say, yeah, for example, you're a striker, but you can play as a cam, you can play as a number 8, you can play all that. If you can't do your main job better than for like a 7, 8, 9 out of 10, I don't want you. And if you can cover those positions, but when you cover those other multiple positions, you only give me a 5 out of 10, 4 out of 10 in those positions. Do I give a shit if you can rotate into other positions? Because when you play them, you're not good enough. So I don't care about how many positions you can play. I don't care about, he's good for the bench. I don't care. Football is simple. Gets better players than you have. When you play Football Manager, when you take over a team, do you get players just as dead as the ones that you've got, or do you go and get a better striker, a better winger, I don't understand. Listen, it's just my opinion. I just don't understand that mentality. Oh, let's just get the same level of players that are not good enough already, yeah, to get us where we want to be, but we'll just get the same level and call it rotation. Where do you think you're going? You're going nowhere. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I really don't. But listen, big up for the comment, but I can't agree to that. Big up the chat, says Gracie. Big up to you. Tina Turner, shakily stepping up to number 2. Nose peg on what I say, that number 2. This still stinks, caramba. Bro, he ain't going to be doing nothing, bro. This guy's trash, I'm telling you right now. Brighton 2, no side, good at getting money for their players. Exactly. We're trash at getting money for our players. It's ridiculous. And then the excuse is, oh, but we don't have Arab money. No, we don't sell players properly. It don't make no sense. I'm not sure Arsenal are even that interested in Tielemans. Otherwise, why hasn't it happened? Asking is apparently £38 million. They don't seem to think he's worth that much. Well, if he's not, yeah, if that is true, these men said they got a clear plan. So what is the midfielder that they want? Just go out and get it done. I don't understand. I really don't understand. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand. Like, it's the easy situation when the selling club want to sell and the player wants to leave. It's the easiest situation to get a deal done. But yet we are still dragging our feet. Like, I'm done with this book. And it's always the same merda, man. I'm sick and tired of it, man. Get the likes up, people. Like the vid, subscribe, and notifications on. Don't be a filo da puta. What's this? If the club don't have a problem letting them go for cheap and it's not hurting them, I don't care, to be honest, as long as we have the money for other players. But we don't, which is why they're now waiting to sell players so we can buy other players. This is the whole reason. They're using it as an excuse right now, saying, oh, we can't sell, we have to sell to buy. And the excuse is always, look at the players that we're in for. Yeah, just look at it. The club is, what you're saying doesn't make sense, because the club are using the fact that we don't have money and the fact that we've got too many players as an excuse. And this is where it annoys me, yeah? We're not going in at full price for Martinez. We missed out, yeah? We probably would have had the money if we sell properly, if we sell Leno properly, if we sold Aubameyang properly, if we sold the players that we don't want, Lacazette properly, but we don't. And this is why we're always undercutting the asking price. Now, of course, you want to get yourself a deal, but we're always getting rejected first bid, second bid, third bid. What does that show you? We probably don't have the money, and that's why we're coming in with all those bids. And for me, that's my opinion. That's my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And people are saying that, we're not going to be able to attack every position. Because we don't have the money. Why don't we have the money? Because we don't sell players properly. So when we're allowing players to go for half the price, and then later on, we don't have all the money for Tielemans and a Savage. Why don't we? We don't, because we don't sell players properly. We don't get the full value for players. We don't invest our money properly. We're going and spending money on Tavares and Lokonga and players like this that are not good enough. And that's why when we need players like Savage that we all know we need, when we need a Tielemans, when we need Ivan Toney, why don't we have the funds? These are the reasons, bro. So as much as you say you don't care, when we don't get the players that you want, remember, these are the reasons. I don't know, man. Chuameka just joined Chelsea, is it? I don't know. By the way, big up Northside, big up to you, bro. Big up to you. What's this? We line agents' pockets and give money to other clubs. Faulty Casino, Fruit Machine FC, cash for free. Yeah, exactly. It's mad. Let's move on. Bellerin is not about football since that knee injury has never been the same. I still ain't seen Bellerin deodorant in Sainsbury's. However, you can find Beckham deodorant and aftershave. There you go. Big up Northside, big up to you, bro. Emery destroyed Torreira. How much will Arsenal get realistically for Torreira? I think he's only got a year left, so I don't know. Probably going to get what? I don't know, man. Probably like 10 mil, something like that. Torreira's bang average. First, when he came, he was running around like Terminator. Then he started struggling to last games and lacked skill. He ain't good enough, but we should be getting, at least making a profit or getting the same amount of money that we invested in him. It didn't help his mum passed away during lockdown and being left in his home alone in London. Sad to see. Of course, yeah, it's always sad to see something like that. Don't wish that on no one. If you have front three of Werner and Nketiah and Lacazette in your team, you are almost guaranteed to finish bottom scorers and get relegated. Not sure why you brought that up, but okay. We won't sign a player like Ivan Toney as he doesn't fit our current system. As we have seen, Arteta will stick with his philosophy, which is why they keep targeting players that can play multiple positions. Bro, I don't care about playing multiple positions. That all sounds all great, but really and truly, I don't care about all of that. Listen, Man City and Liverpool are getting strikers that don't necessarily fit their style of football to add another dimension to their game. You don't just get all players that play exactly the same. You should have different types of ability and skill set within your team. So I don't really agree with that if that is the way Arteta is looking at it, because Gabriel Jesus is great, but there's going to be situations where you're going to need somebody that's going to be a fox in the box, somebody that's going to be just a clinical finisher, somebody that has different attributes to him. You need players with different attributes. And going in with everyone has to be an Odegaard or has to be a Gabriel Jesus. I don't think that's you filling out your team with a variety of talent, which is why we've seen the two leaders in the Premier League going out for a Haaland. You know what I mean? Haaland doesn't necessarily suit Man City style of football. Do you know what I'm saying? But they went out and got him. So is Darwin Núñez. You know what I mean? For Liverpool. So at the end of the day, if our rivals are doing that, why aren't we doing that? But we never learn. This is the problem. We never learn. It's mad. What's this here? Northside is bugging out right now. This is not video game, brother. Coming in and out, going for all the changes we needed. Takes time. Okay, cool. Have we not been waiting 18 years to win the league? Oh, okay. Also, how come you're telling me that we need time, but Conte comes in a couple of months and pips Arteta to what Arteta should have done 3 years ago? But apparently it's not a video game. How's he able to do that? He's able to implement more changes at Tottenham with less signings than Arteta is, and Arteta's got all these flipping players almost hitting £400 million spent in his time here. So how come it's impossible for Arsenal to do, but our rivals have been able to make immediate changes and actually hit their targets. But no, this is the problem. Because Edu's come out and said we're halfway through our process and it's 3 years into it, I say this. If we're halfway through our process with Arteta and Arteta's got 5th and that's halfway through the process, why did we get rid of Unai Emery? Because not saying that I wanted Unai Emery to stay, but it doesn't make any sense. Arteta gets 5th in 3 years' time. That's halfway through the process. Unai Emery gets 5th in 1 year, and that's deemed not good enough. Sacked straight away. Well, surely he was getting through the process a lot faster than Arteta is because he got 5th in his first year. Does that make sense? Doesn't make any sense to me, but that's not the popular thing to say. So it is what it is. Listen, I'm not dropping my standards here because this club keep coming out with excuses. I'm not having it. And because they want to do another youth project, which is the 3rd youth project that we've been through at this club in the last 18 years. Sorry, this is a results business. Oregon Guna, thanks again for the super chat, man. You're always very kind with the super chat. Tielemans is not coming in. We re-signed Xhaka and Elneny, and now we have Fabio and Sambi. It will be surprising if he joins us. Cheers, bruv. Listen, big up to you, bro. Thank you very, very much for the super chat. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you very much for your super chats, man. Big up Oregon Guna, man. Always very generous. Very, very generous. What's this here? I got to go in a bit, literally, because in 15 minutes I need to go into, what do you call it? It's going on Gracie's channel. So make sure you come onto Gracie's channel. 6:30 today. It'll be me, Jez, and Kenny Ken will be on Gracie's channel. So make sure you pop by. What's this again? What's this? Forget all the losses. We don't care about their accounts. It shouldn't affect our transfers. It's their own decisions. If they don't care, why do you care? You know why I don't care? Well, do you know why I care? Because there's always a justification for this manager. The fact that we're not doing business, when people tell me that there's been change at the club, this is one of the many reasons, one of the many examples I use that things ain't changed at this club because we're still losing money. Yeah. So when there's this big, everything's changed at Arsenal. Well, it hasn't, is it? And now the excuse is, well, why do you care? Why do I care? Because people telling me there's this big revelation, this big change at Arsenal. No, there isn't. It's still the same crap. And when we don't get the players that I want, I already know why. Because we're not selling players properly and we're losing out on players. And this is the problem. And then we're getting players that are not good enough. Most of them are not good enough. That is why I care. Because my club, once again, is not doing what's needed. The fan base are getting overhyped. Yeah. Oh, we can do this, we can do that. I already saw on AFTV people getting overhyped saying, we can compete with the big boys. You'll see. And once you eat your humble pie, I'll be still here. And I'll say, I told you so. I told you so, and this is why I don't get carried away. Pep and Klopp haven't bought players that wasn't good enough as well, bro. And they had to move them out on loan. Bro, I can name 6 or 7 players this guy's bought in, they ain't good enough. Yeah, how many players have they bought? How many? Do you know what I'm saying? And also, since we're talking about Pep and Klopp already won a major honor by this time, 3 years' time. I thought everyone was comparing this manager to Klopp and saying it takes time. My guy was already winning major honors already. Do you know what I'm saying? By year 3, go do your Googles, bro. But apparently, let's not mention that no more because, we're only going to mention comparing him to Klopp when it's convenient. Do you know what I'm saying? If this guy don't win nothing on his 3rd year, don't compare this guy to Klopp. What's this here? What's this? What else are you lot saying? So many comments, man. So many comments. What are your targets for Arsenal this year, Northside? My target is be up there in the title race, or he has to be sacked. If he's not in the title race, I want him sacked. He's spent almost £400 million. He's been back to almost all of his decisions, whether getting rid of players, getting players in. I don't want any puta que pariu excuses. I don't want no merda. Esse chupa da cabra, he needs to bounce. And he's not going to do it. So, listen, he's getting sacked. He's getting sacked this season. That's my opinion anyway. What's this here? One more before I lock off. AFTV are fun TV now, bro. I'm just saying that as it is, man. Like when I saw certain people going on there and overgassing that we can compete with the major clubs and the biggest clubs, I don't know, man. What's this here? Northside, I just heard the dumbest thing. Arteta and Edu spent 30 million on a fourth-rate Portuguese player, but not willing to spend the same money on a second-rate Prem midfielder. Puta que pariu. There you go. And on that bombshell, people, make sure you like and subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a video. And in less than 15 minutes, I'll be on Gracie's channel with Kenny, Ken, and Jez. We're out.